Today is the 27th day of June 2020, a Saturday, Sabbath in the Bahamas. And what a beautiful day, man. Look here. I wish I was out there fishing. I'm on the Ocean View Park in Dunderstown. This is some of the greatest memories I had in this area as a young man, as a coach, as a sponsor of basketball, as a mentor of young men that were fatherless, tried to give them an opportunity to go to college through their basketball and athletic skills. That was a joy to do that for 10 long years. As I sit here on the waterfront looking over Manawaki, that's Manawaki there, and you can see the boats going through the Manawa Passage, coming and going, all the freight boats, taking all the bulldozers, all the heavy equipment from all the monies that they made in Abaco. And you could think clearly. It's a beautiful day. We show us deep sea fishing, bottom dropping, getting some snappers. Relax your mind. And I thought about something whilst sitting here. I know that Abaco has went through a lot, and we have may forgotten, because we're now from a hurricane to rebuilding, then COVID-19, then rebuilding again. So your mind is everywhere. But I remembered the election, and coming up to the election before the F&M won, the big focus was on the VAT money. And it seems like everybody in Nassau has gone quiet, especially the media, the newspaper, the television. Everybody is absolutely silent, and they haven't recognized what has happened in 3 years of this F&M government. This F&M government has borrowed $4.3 billion in just 3 years. They have borrowed more money than the Hubert Ingram government and the Perry Christie government combined. $4.3 billion. But the interesting thing is that the PLP had VAT at 7.5%, and the F&M rose it to 12%. And back then, the F&M were crying and calling out the billions that the PLP was collecting from what? The F&M is collecting twice as much, and they're silent. What I would have thought the news, what people would be, the professional news reporters, Tribune, Guardian, Punch writers would be agitating for the numbers, because the F&M don't have to guess how much money the PLP collected. They are now the government. They know the numbers. They have not come clean to the Bahamian people after campaigning for months about the money. They haven't said yet how much money was collected under the PLP. They know the answer. Why are they silent? Kai Mills and the rest of Bahamas would like to know how much money has been collected in 3 years under the F&M government that has doubled the taxes. So obviously they have collected more than the PLP. But what happened with the monies that were collected by the PLP and 3 years of the F&M combined? What are the numbers? they're not putting it to our national debt. Our national debt is going up, but they're not interjecting or putting anything to pay off the national debt. They're just borrowing. So tell me, when is the Prime Minister that y'all call the most honorable? When is Peter Turnquest gonna come clean to the Bahamian people and show them, tell them what are they doing with the billions that has been collecting? Because they're not paying our national debt. That's why we're down to junk status. Junk status means that our currency could be devalued at any time. It means that because the international community doesn't trust us, when we borrow money, they put a big interest on it because they see the numbers, but the bookwork is not up to par. That is unacceptable. I keep telling y'all that this Prime Minister and this F&M government gonna go down in history as the worst government in the history of the Bahamas and indeed the Caribbean. How could it be that only 3 years, they got 2 more years to go, in 3 years they borrowed $4.3 billion and there's nothing to show? Look at Hurricane Dorian. All the money that they say they have interjected into the communities of Abaco and Grand Bahama. Only them one know the numbers. I live it. I see every day. I don't see the millions of dollars that they said they spent. They must have spent it on the heavy equipment, cleaning the mud, the peas, and sandbanks. That is their only claim to fame so far. Everything else was just a promise of what they're gonna do. Going back and forth. We gotta put you back in the system. You're out the system. Okay, let's try putting you back in the system. I've been back and out the system from September. Others feel the same way. After millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars is being collected on behalf of Abaco and Grand Bahama, the only people that cannot see it or feel it is the people that the money was collected for. Where they have the money, what are they doing with the money, only them one know, but time will tell. In 2 years, or maybe before 2 years, they will have to come clean with the Bahamian people. But so far, after $4.3 billion has been collected, more money than the Hubert Ingram and the Perry Christie administration. And to date, the thing that got them to power, what they keep yelling, where is the what money? What are you doing with the what money? You are not paying down our national debt. It actually is escalating under this useless, weight nothing government, prime minister, ministers of the F&M government. What are they doing with the what money? What are they doing with the hurricane money? They said that the PLP government had close to $400 million from Hurricane Matthew that they didn't spend. Where is this $400 million? That could have done so much for Abaco, but they're silent on that money. They knew about that money, so they said. But since they come to power, they cannot show us any of this monies, none of this perceived stealing by the F&M government. Watch when you point fingers. Y'all said that the PLP government was the biggest crook on record. So far, through the eyes of Kai Mills, I perceive that this FNM government has been the crookedest government in my 58 years of being a Bahamian. They have not been truthful to the Bahamian people on the debt. They can't even tell you the debt. They can't even tell you how many people they buried. Just the other day, they said they buried 50. But I perceive the numbers I count out there, I see 56 bodies, casket, mark at the grave. They don't even know how many people they buried. Nor do they know how many people died. Nor do they care. But we, the taxpayers, want to know what they know already. Peter Turnquest, how much money were collected at 7.5% under the Perry Christie administration. Kai Mills in the Bahamas want to know, in 3 years, at 12%, you went from 7.5% to 12% when you promised the Bahamian people that you will not, I quote, you will not increase tax upon their head. And you went up double. What have you done, and how much have you collected in 3 years? Where's the money? That's 8 years. 5 under the PLP, 3 under the FNM, and to date, no government has told us how much VAT money has been collected and what are they doing with the VAT money. It's one of these Sabbath questions. Any transparent, honest government should have gained their people that answered already, especially when you came under the pretense that you are going to be a government above board. So far, this FNM government has been the worst disaster, worse than Hurricane Dorian so far today. Where is the VAT money? How much VAT money have you collected in 3 years? And how much VAT money has been collected under the 5 years of the Perry Christie administration? Kai Mills and the Bahamian people are waiting for the answer. You're live with Kai on WCAY when the government of the Bahamas have refused to be transparent, to be honest, to have a soul, to have a heart, and care about their integrity. The problem in this country is lack of integrity and too much greed. Greed and lack of integrity is killing the Bahamian society, and indeed the government of the Bahamas has neither. No integrity, and they're greedy, and they can't, and they continue to not be transparent. This one is Kai Care video. You're live with Kai on the Ocean View Park in Dundastan.